I'm former NFL player turned chef Darrell Smith, and I'm on a mission to spread love through food, giving a fresh new twist on home-cooked meals. It's all mad good food.
It is brunch time, and this is a very special day to me because I grew up eating brunch. And so today what I'm gonna do is introduce you to an elevated version of our brunch favorites. We're gonna make DIY grit bowls. Without any further ado, let's get started. We got a pork shoulder, and what I've done is just chop this into large pieces, and I'm gonna get started on a dry rub for our pork. A little bit of cumin, we got some garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, we got mustard powder, we got a little bit of chili powder, we got about a teaspoon of our smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of that cayenne pepper because that is very spicy. We got a little brown sugar. Finally, a little bit of salt. And I'm just gonna take this and spin it around. We've got our dry seasonings ready, and we'll just put those to the side. Over here, we'll get our pork ready. You see I have a knife, and all I wanna do is make a few holes. One, so those seasonings can infuse itself into our pork, but then two, so I could poke some of this garlic into the holes. And I'll take this garlic, get it in there, and just massage it. And next, we'll just add our dry seasoning to this as well. We'll start with a little bit. And all I wanna do is just massage and get it nice and coated. I like to marinate my meat overnight. I'll grab the Dutch oven so that we can get a nice crust on our pork. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Don't use olive oil because we have to have really high heat, and olive oil will burn and taste nasty. So instead, we got a nice vegetable oil, and I'm just gonna place my porks right on the bottom. There you go, babies. And so we're just gonna let that sit for a little longer. Now we're gonna go into that braise stage. So first, we got a little sesame oil. We got some soy sauce. Little apple cider vinegar. Last but not least, that brew. Oh, you lucky I don't drink you right now. We got about 6 ounces of that, and I'm gonna just let that chill. Pop the top on. We'll bring this up to a boil on the stove, and then we'll pop that in the oven once it gets to that boil. Let's check on this and see if it's up to a boil yet. Woo! Look at that, folks. Nice and bubbly. And we'll put this on our top rack, and we'll cook this about 325 for 3 hours. When we come back, we'll get started on our grits and our bang bang shrimp.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
We're back, and it's time to make Grandma's yellow grits. Yellow. This is one of those things that I could literally make in my sleep. Matter of fact, I could make these blindfolded. Is first, heat up your pan, right? And we just want to bring a little bit of water to a boil. White grits are made with hominy, whereas yellow grits are made with corn straight from the cob. All I put is a little bit of love, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of cream. While that's going, we're gonna get started on our bang bang shrimp. We're gonna heat up a griddle pan. We got a little bit of mayonnaise. We're gonna take a little bit of sriracha. We got some sesame oil. That's that fish sauce. Very little of that. I would say about a half a teaspoon. Little pepper, salt. We got some lime juice. And finally, we got a little bit of garlic. I'll say about maybe a teaspoon of that. And we'll just put this to the side and get back to stirring our yellow grits. Once you get to the point where your grits start to bubble like this, you wanna turn that heat down to like a medium and start to season your grits. I'll add just a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just going to turn this all the way off. And we'll just let that sit with a top on so it doesn't cool off too much. All right, let's go grab these shrimps. I'm just gonna season these with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little olive oil so they don't stick to the pan. Whenever I'm dealing with something like a griddle pan, I'll just oil whatever I'm gonna put on it, because shrimp is something that you wanna cook as high as possible and as fast as possible, because if not, they'll taste like shoes. Woo! That is the noise And I'm just gonna layer these. That's what I'm talking about. 20-year-old Rel would not have appreciated this. Now it's time to add the bang bang to our shrimp. Just gonna take our shrimp and that delicious sauce we made, and I'm just gonna drizzle that bad boy all over. Oh, overboard. Shrimp is looking good. Now it's time to add our butters and our cheeses to our grits. A little bit of butter. You can add as much butter as you like. That's good enough for me. A little bit of that Parmesan. And then we also got some shredded cheddar. This is nice. That Parmesan gives you a little salt. That cheddar gives you a little bite and punches you right in the tongue like this. Bam. Fold that in, and we're just gonna put this to the side. Let that butter continue to melt. We got some chili oil, and I'm just gonna pour some of this right into our pan. I like that. We're gonna let that oil heat up just a little more. We're just gonna drop our eggs right into it. We got one. Sizzle, 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 pop, pop, pop. We got three. There it is. All I'm gonna do, let that steam is gonna cook the top of that egg so we don't have to flip it. You can see it almost come together. And let's give it 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Perfect. Oh, look at them eggs. I like this. I feel like when you get a little older, you start to experiment with the things that you cook with. Chili oil is one of those things because you don't normally see this. That is beautiful. And now it's time for me to make my own plate. This is my version of brunch. Like, I like to cook one base, which is usually grits, and then I allow people to serve themselves the things that go on top. Without further ado, here we go. What I like to do is I get every single piece of this bowl in one bite. This has been a wonderful day. This has been a wonderful meal. I'm still growing, and I encourage you to grow as a person, as well as with your food choices. We came a long way from microwave sausages.